Hello friends, let us start our today's topic. Our today's topic is based on the parts of speech. When we speak English or when we speak in sentence, there are different parts in a single sentence. The different parts are falls under different categories of parts of speech and are divided in 8 parts. It are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Noun, संज्ञा, pronoun, सर्वनाम, verb, क्रिया, adjective, विशेषण, adverb, क्रिया विशेषण, preposition, कारक, interjunction, conjunction, संबंध, interjunction, संबोधन. नाउन, संज्ञा. संज्ञा के बारे में, नाउन के बारे में आपने काफी पढ़ा होगा, मैं थोड़ा सा संक्षेप में बताऊंगा. प्रोनाउन, सर्वनाम. सर्वनाम जिसे नाउन के बदले यूज करते हैं, वही यूज इन प्लेस ऑफ नाउन. वी विल ऑल्सो डिस्कस ब्रीफली अबाउट प्रोनाउन. verb, क्रिया. We will discuss briefly about verb. Viशेषण, adjective. It will be discussed in next discussion chapter or in next day or in next day. Adverb, क्रिया विशेषण. It will also be discussed later. Preposition, कारक. हिंदी में कारक कहते हैं. कर्ता ने कर्म को कर्म से, संप्रदान को के लिए अपादान से, संबंध काके की, अधिकरण में पैपर, संबंध काके की, संबोधन हे अरे. एंड संबंध, कंजंक्शन, काके की से, और, एवं, या, आदि. इंटरजंक्शन, संबोधन हे अरे, आह, ओ, आदि. ओके, लेट अस स्टार्ट आवर डिस्कशन. बिफोर स्टार्टिंग डिस्कशन, वी शुड स्टार्ट आवर डिस्कशन विद ए पोएम और पोएट्री. 20 little frogs or frogs. We are going to a school and we are singing a song. 20 frogs go to a school down beside the rusty pool. 20 little coats of green, 20 shirts so white and clean. We must be on time, said they. First we study, then we play. That is how we keep the rule when we frogs go to a school. Okay, friends, let us start our today's topic. That means parts of speech. There are 8 types of parts of speech: noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Noun. Noun is the name of anything, any name, state, action, or anything. Generally, nouns are categorized in 5 kinds or 5 types: proper noun, common noun, collective noun, abstract noun. Proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. Proper noun is the name of anything: Ram, Syam, नेपाल, इंडिया, भूटान, कश्मीर, ताजमहल, लाल किला, व्हाइट हाउस, एक्सेट्रा. That means it is the name of anything. Common noun. Common noun is the noun which is used as common for all, no matter what is the gender or anything concerned, like doctor, it may be male, female, neuter, police, nurse, teacher. When we say a doctor or teacher or police or nurse or etc., nursing staff, we do not consider the gender or anything else. That is common noun. Collective noun. It is used for a group of persons, people, things, animals, livestock, etc. Like a class, it is a group of students. Heads, group of sheep. Bunch, a collection of keys, etc. That means now fourth is material noun. Material noun. Material cannot be counted, but it may be that suppose that we are saying honey. Honey is not, but honey is a material. 1 kg honey or 1 liter honey, sugar, tea, it are materials and therefore it are known as material noun. Abstract noun. Abstract, it means expression, feelings. Feelings, name of expression or feeling are also known. Allah, oh, bravo, very good, well done, etc. Later, the Oxford English Dictionary classified the 5 types or 5 kinds of noun in 3 categories: proper noun, countable noun, and uncountable or non-countable noun. Proper noun, it is the same name of anything. Countable noun, which may be counted. That means numbering may be done. That is common noun and collective noun. Common noun and collective noun may be counted. Therefore, it are known as countable noun. And material noun and abstract noun cannot be counted. Material, you can't count sugar or milk or tea or honey. Its quantity may be measured. It are known as uncountable noun. Abstract noun, you can't count your feelings, your ideas, your expressions. It are also uncountable noun. Therefore, Oxford English Dictionary classifies the 5 types or 5 kinds of noun in 3 categories: proper noun, countable noun, and uncountable noun. Okay, friends, the brief chapter or summary of noun is completed. Now let us come on pronoun. What is pronoun? Pronoun is the word which is used in place of noun. It is used for avoiding repetition of noun. Suppose that Ram is we are writing about writing a paragraph on Ram or India or cow. Cow is a 4-footed animal. It is a domestic animal. Now, in the second sentence, we use it. In second sentence, we avoid cow is a domestic animal. Cow is a 4-footed animal. Cow is a domestic animal. Cow gives us milk. That means repetition of cow is not suitable. Therefore, we avoid it and use another word which indicates cow. That means it. It is a four-footed animal, it is a domestic and it is a domestic animal, it gives us milk, etc. That means any word which is used in place of noun for avoiding repetition of noun is known as pronoun. Pronoun are seven types of pronouns are there. That means there are seven kinds of pronoun. Number one is proper pronoun. Number two is demonstrative. Number three, interrogative. Number four, relative. Number five, indefinite. Number six, question. And number seven, we again see proper noun, demonstrative noun, interrogative noun, question, relative noun, indefinite, and reflexive or intensifying. It may be of eight types, but we say question and interrogative in a single kind. Therefore, there are seven kinds of pronoun. Proper pronoun, demonstrative, interrogative, relative, indefinite, reflexive, and intensifying pronoun. What is proper pronoun? Proper pronoun that is used in place of proper noun. What is proper noun? Name of anything. But the pronoun is used for avoiding repetition of noun. Proper pronoun. Ram is a boy. His house is situated in area A. That means his is used for avoiding repetition of Ram. Ram is a proper noun and his is proper pronoun. Your village or village Sangrampur is situated in Uttar Pradesh. It is an ideal village. It is used in place of Sangrampur village for avoiding its repetition. That means it is proper pronoun. Proper pronouns are of three kinds: subjective, possessive, and adjective or objective. Subjective, possessive, and objective. What is subjective pronoun? I, you, he, I, you, he, she, it, they. It are subjective pronoun that is used as a subject. Possessive. Possessive means something is in your possession or in possession of subject. That means yours. This pen is white, or this is yours pen. This pen is yours. This is your pen. This pen is yours. There are two types of sentences. This pen is yours. This is your pen. That means if you use your and after then you use noun or the object, it is in form of your, his, her. But if you use s with apostrophe, it is already completed and there is no requirement to use noun or object again. It is his hat, and this hat is his. It is your pen. This pen is yours. Subjective, possessive, and objective. I, we, ours, us. He, his, him. We, our, ourselves. You, your, yours. You, your, yours. Now the next is demonstrative pronoun. This, that, these, those, etc. Demonstration. That means indication towards a proper noun. I, that book is mine. That book. The subject is that book is mine. That book, here that is demonstrative pronoun. This pen is mine. This is demonstrative pronoun. It demonstrates or indicates a noun. Number 3 is interrogative pronoun. What, which, what is this? What is on the table? What is on the table? What are you eating? Here, what indicates the thing? That is the subject in the sentence, and the pronoun is interrogative and is finished or completed with note of interrogation. It is known as interrogative pronoun. What are you saying? Which book is it? Whose book is it? Which pen is yours? Or which is your pen? That means what, which, etc. are interrogative pronoun. Relative. It means it relates subject to object or relates one noun to other. Whose book is this? That means whose book is this? It relates this book to a particular person. Whose book is this? Who are you? Here are two pronouns. You, proper pronoun, and who, relative. Who are you? That means it is actually it is interrogative pronoun. Relative is whose friend is you. That means you are related to another person with whose. That is pronoun. Whose friend is you? Whom do you want? Whom relates you with any other person. That is relative pronoun. Next is indefinite pronoun. What is indefinite? Someone, anyone, no one, etc. Someone has done it. I gave him some money, but I am not saying how much money I gave him. I gave him some money. Someone is coming, but I don't know who is coming. Someone is coming. Indefinite. Someone has done it. Anywhere you may go. That means it is indefinite. Subject is indefinite. Known as indefinite pronoun. A reflexive pronoun. Myself, yourself, ourselves are reflexive. Myself has done it, but it is not correct. You do yourself, selves. We have done ourselves. We have done it ourselves. That means ourselves, yourself, will, ourselves, myself. Myself has an almirah in my room. It is reflexive, intensifying pronoun. Intensifying. Intensifier is always with its dative. I myself have done it. I myself have done it. I and myself. Here I is proper pronoun and myself, because once again there is a requirement of a repetition of I, but I have done it is not proper and is creating a suspicion whether the pronoun has been repeated or there is an error while writing the sentence. To avoid such types of suspicions, we use intensifying pronoun. I myself have done it. You yourselves have purchased a car. We ourselves have cleaned our rooms. That it means there are 7 types of pronouns are categorized in 7 kinds. Proper pronoun, demonstrative, interrogative, relative, indefinite, reflexive and intensifying pronoun. Next is verb. What is verb? Verb is an action state or being. Verb in Hindi, verb is known as kriya. Verb. There are verbs may be categorized in 3 kinds or 3 types. Number 1 is action verb. Number 2 is linking verb and number 3 is helping verb or auxiliary verb. Number 1, action verb. Action verb indicates an action state or being or happening of any event or occurring of an incident. Action verb may be of 2 kinds, transitive and intransitive, sakarmak and akarmak. Transitive, sakarmak, intransitive, akarmak. Transitive verb. Transitive verbs are those verbs that are supported with an object. It means until you use an object in the sentence is incomplete. You gives. Here gives is transitive verb because until you use some object, it is incomplete. He gives. What he gives is not clear. And until you complete the sentence with an object, what he gives, it is incomplete. He gives book, he gives alms, he gives a cup of tea. It means it is supported with an object, therefore known as transitive. Sakarmak, supported with a karma, object, and akarmak, intransitive. It doesn't require an object. You eat, तुम खाते हो, you eat. It doesn't require an object. You eat. He sleeps. He sleeps. It doesn't require where he sleeps, when he slept. He sleeps is also appears a complete sentence. That means sleeps, eats are intransitive verb. Subject plus intransitive verb may complete a sentence. Akarmak, it doesn't require an object to be completed. Akarmak, without an object, without a karma, object. That means action verbs of two kinds, sakarma, akarma, transitive and intransitive. Next is linking verb. What is linking verb? Linking verb links two nouns, a noun with pronoun, or two pronoun, or noun with adjective, or pronoun with adjective. That means it links the noun to noun, noun to pronoun, noun to an adjective. All the forms of be are linking verbs. That means is, am, are, was, were, be, been, being are linking verbs. You are playing. You is pronoun and playing is verb. And are, what is are? Are is linking pronoun to verb. This picture is very good. This picture is very good. This is very good picture. This picture is very good, or this is very good picture. This is pronoun. This is pronoun. And very good is an adjective. Pronoun is linked with adjective with is. That is linking verb. Next is helping verb. The third kind of verb is helping verb, which is also known as auxiliary verb. Auxiliary, helping verb. Helping verbs or auxiliary verbs are of two kinds, modal auxiliary verb and forms of be. Modal auxiliary verb: can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, ought, dare, need are modal auxiliary verbs. Once again I am repeating: can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, ought to, dare, need, or dare, need to, or need are modal auxiliary verb. Another is 8 kinds of forms of be: is, am, are, was, were, be, been, being. That means it is forms of be. Modal auxiliary verbs may be of another kinds also. Has, have, had, do, does, did are also modal auxiliary verbs. That means can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, ought to, dare, need, has, have, had, do, does, did, all are auxiliary verbs or modal auxiliary verbs. And the forms of be are also auxiliary verbs. That means all are helping verbs, auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are very important in a question. It is the main, it may be used as main verb also. An auxiliary verb decides or makes a sentence interrogative or negative. Therefore, auxiliary verb gives very much importance in a sentence. Okay friends, our today's discussion is to be finished. We have discussed about noun, kinds of noun, 5 kinds of noun: proper, common, collective, material, abstract, and its further categorization in 3 parts: proper, countable and uncountable. Pronoun, 7 kinds of pronoun: proper, demonstrative, interrogative, relative, question, indefinite, reflexive and intensifying. And verbs, three kinds of verbs: action verbs, linking verbs, and helping verbs. That means action verbs are two kinds of action verbs: transitive and intransitive. Linking verbs, forms of be, and helping or auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliary and forms of be. When you speak English and when we try to speak English, there is no shortcut. It requires knowledge of English grammar. When we solve the questions in competitions, or when we fill in the blanks in the question papers, it requires knowledge. We can't use to cover. That means we can't use our innocent mind to be the question correct until it has sufficient knowledge about the kinds of or types of sentence or the sentence structure. Therefore, it appears the knowledge is very little or poor, but it may be very important while solving the questions in examinations. You may ask in descriptive question to write a sentence that covers all kinds of parts of speech. Therefore, you have to write a sentence that contains noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Similarly, when you attempt in examination, some fill in the blanks are of such type: fill in the blanks with reflexive pronoun, fill in the blanks with intensifying pronoun, fill in the blanks with auxiliary verb, fill in the blank with demonstrative pronoun, fill in the blank with abstract noun. How will you solve it? Until you have sufficient knowledge what is the reflexive pronoun, what is demonstrative pronoun, what is intensifying pronoun, what is abstract noun, what is auxiliary verb. Because in a bracket, after questioning there is blank space, and in a bracket it is written: fill in the blank with an auxiliary verb, fill in the blank with a demonstrative pronoun, and complete the sentence. Fill in the blank with interrogative pronoun and complete the sentence. Fill in the blank with auxiliary verb. The boys or candidates who are appearing in examination, especially in graduate level examination or below type of examination, and there is a mandatory question paper of English grammar or English paper. There is a compulsory English paper, and you have appeared at a single time. You may see there are fill in the blanks, and at the right side of the sentence in the bracket it has been written: fill in the blank with an auxiliary verb, fill in the blank with demonstrative pronoun, fill in the blanks with abstract noun, fill in and complete the sentence, fill in the blank with an intensifying pronoun and complete the sentence. It means you should have sufficient idea about what has been written in the question. Until you have sufficient knowledge about the kinds of noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection, and sufficient knowledge, you can't fulfill the blank space written in the question paper in the competitive examinations. Okay friends, let us will meet in next discussion. Thank you.